Okay, so I'm in New Zealand right now. It is the middle of January 2023, and that's why it looks really green all around me. And I am here in the garden of Helen van den Ende, who is a gardener in North Palmerston.
Palmerston North.
Palmerston North, New Zealand. Okay, Helen, so give us a tour of your garden. Tell us a little bit about where we are in the world.
Kia ora. So we're Palmerston North, as Cynthia said, which is in the lower North Island, so 2 hours from Wellington. And Palmerston North City, it's just a small city, not a lot to claim, but anyway. And we live about 15 k's out at the base of the Aotearoa ranges, which you can see.
You can see through the trees. There.
And then we're sitting at about 90 meters.
90 meters. So by comparison, Edmonton is about 700 meters, and I think Calgary is 1,100 or 1,200 meters. So
Right.
you're very close to sea level.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
And the hills get up to about 400 at the top of the hill. So.
And so you're at the peak of summer right now, which
Yeah.
is the exact opposite in Canada. We're at the peak of winter. But even in our peak of summer, we can't grow things like this giant orange tree. This is what it is? This is an orange tree?
It's grapefruit.
Grapefruit.
So this is a grapefruit. So we're kind of zone 8, 9. Winters aren't particularly cold. We may get a couple of frosts. And daytime temperatures are positive, maybe 10, 15 degrees in winter and 20 something in summer.
And what does it do overnight in winter? What are your nighttime lows?
Yeah, cold. Yeah, if it's cold, we'll get a little bit of a frost.
Yeah.
And usually, I don't know, 5, 10 degrees.
So you can grow lots of tender things that we would never be able to grow.
So we can grow hardy subtropicals.
Hardy subtropicals.
Yeah,
I just got to get a look at these.
I'm looking a bit scrapey at the moment. Just the
Yeah.
tail end. So this tree's been producing probably for about January, 3 months.
3 months. Wow.
So and you can see there's so much fruit still.
Yeah. And it's quite easy, as I understand it, to grow citrus in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sort of the things
It's
like
a dream.
limes.
It's a dream for us.
Yeah, lemons and limes. are
Lemons,
okay.
limes, and grapefruits,
Yeah.
tangelo.
But limes not so much, not the true limes.
And you have lots of apple
Lots
trees.
of apples, yes. I did a plant course, and propagation was one of the things. So it's on a tall fruit stock, so there's all sorts. I think this is Fiesta. Fiesta, or maybe that one's Fiesta. I have to look. Sorry, I can't quite remember. But they're based, I don't know if you know the varieties, but a Cox is orange based apple.
They're quite small,
Yeah, they don't grow very big.
but lovely. And you have some squash growing here.
Oh yeah, this is a bit of a funny space. Never quite know what to do with it. So this year I thought, right, plant some pumpkins.
Squash it is.
And
I see you have quite some large.
yeah, there's a.
Oh, there it's coming in here. So is this like a patty pan?
Oh no, this is proper pumpkin.
That's proper. Okay, it's like a
Proper
winter
iron
squash.
bark type. I think.
Oh yes, I
There's
see.
a few varieties. I'm not very diligent at the record keeping. So it's, yeah, but the hard ones that will last all winter.
Tell us about this plant right here that we would not grow at home.
So this is a Nikau palm, which is native to New Zealand and sort of grows in the, I guess more, I say it's a tropical, it's sort of lower limit really.
So it would grow more on the north part of the North
part.
Island.
There's a few down south, but needs sort of the top of the North Island as well, but it needs a kind of fairly mild climate.
And so these are the seeds?
Yeah, it's really
Well, do you want to look at the other one?
No.
What were you
Have
just
a look
doing?
at this one
Which,
here.
what were you
The
just doing?
bricks, I'll show you over here. Palm.
Not adept at palm trees.
So this one here, so the bricks fall off.
The bracts fall off, okay.
And then you've got the seed, the flower bud
Oh, get out. That's the flower bud.
Yeah, and then, so this is the last one. And they're pollinated by flies, actually, when they're going. They're just, no flies.
Amazing. And so then these are the seeds
Oh, yeah, this one,
from it?
this is pretty much gone. So these are, probably should be taken off.
So
I haven't got any ripe seeds. They go orange when they're ripe.
And they will drop to the ground and leave little babies.
Little babies. Lots of little babies. Little babies there. Which I'll dig up and put into pots.
And you pot them and you transplant them, or you will be transplanting them?
I will be transplanted. They're quite slow growing.
Because they're part of a native.
Yeah, and they don't transplant very well when they're bigger, because first thing they do is put down the taproot.
So how old would this one be?
This would be about 15 years old.
15
It
years.
was little when we arrived, so maybe 15, 20 years old.
Amazing.
Yeah, we've got the Fijoa over here.
Oh, the Fijoa, that's right. And we, on our way to the Fijoa, or maybe past it. Oh, here we go.
Here we go, here's the Fijoa.
And it
Here in
has
New Zealand,
one...
everybody knows Fijoas, and they are incredibly productive.
And they have, oh, here's a red
So
blossom.
here's a flower. Here's a flower.
Oh, yeah, there's a, oh, look at this is beautiful.
So, and they're pollinated by birds mostly.
Bird pollinated.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And as they grow, you get these little fruits.
Oh.
So pineapple guava, Fijoa. And
Feijoa.
that's right. And when they probably April, they start to drop. So when they drop, or when they fall off easily, they're ripe. And it's kind of, if you have a Fijoa tree, you can't eat them all. It's sort of something everybody tries to give away. But if you buy them in the supermarket, they're really expensive.
So we cannot walk past these hydrangeas without a little conversation. This one is looking magnificent.
Yeah, and it's got patch white, but it's got two colours.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a mix of color.
Yeah, that's good.
So
It's got a bit aged, that one.
have you added anything to the soil?
No.
So
No,
this
I'm a
blue is a low pH, so it's acidic.
Yeah. But that one's red, so yeah, I don't know. I think
Different
they're just
varietal?
There's different.
Brilliant. Oh, what's this?
It's my little mandarin.
These are mandarins.
Yeah, so that's a Satsuma type, easy peel mandarin, which is
It's loaded. Oh, so
There's
there's
one
one fruit up there.
still, which I can't reach.
Oh yeah, and there's another one in there. But look
Yeah.
at how much fruit there is
I
on
know,
it.
and it's a great little tree. So my kids, the fruit doesn't grow very big, so my kids are always a bit fussy because they're always a bit small. I don't know, they're probably not that great anymore. A little bit dry. But they're easy peel.
Look at that.
I don't know. I don't know if it's any good.
We'll find out.
Sort of gone a bit dry.
Pulpy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else we got?
Oh, this is my favorite over here.
Oh, this little honey babe peach.
Honey Babe Peach.
That's a dwarf peach. And they don't grow much bigger. And as Simply will attest, oh look, we have this problem too.
Delicious. Okay, so what's happening here?
Oh, it's quite susceptible to brown rot.
Mm-hmm.
And just because it's been quite a damp season, I lose quite a few through brown rot, but it's the most delicious little peach.
It is. I can attest to that. Having had one yesterday. Look at, and they're quite small.
They don't grow big.
But flavorful, great for snacking.
Good for bottling, and they're freestone.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, in Canada, where we have we're growing in zone 2, 3, 4, we often, it's a dream to have a greenhouse so that we can extend our garden season, but given what you just told us about the weather, it sounds like you could garden here year-round without any problems. So why go to the trouble of building a greenhouse?
Because it just means I can grow. So, and you can see it's a bit of a mess, but there's some
It's a working greenhouse.
cucumbers and tomatoes in there at the moment, which I like to grow those inside because I have trouble with birds.
Okay, so it keeps the birds off.
And yeah, no, it's just sort of they can clamber around it.
Look at.
And in winter, I end up growing lots of spinach and lettuce, and yeah, I've got spring onions and
Yeah.
just sort of more. While we can grow them, it's quite wet over winter, so they don't. Things like lettuce doesn't.
That's really the thing I think with the greenhouse is, regardless of where you live, it allows you to control the environment in which you're growing.
Yeah. So and this is a little Asian cucumber.
Oh.
So it doesn't grow a lot bigger, and
It is quite warm in here.
it is quite warm. There's no. This was a recycle, as you can tell. So this used to be the frame of an army truck. You know, the canopy.
Yeah.
And the plastic was found
And
somewhere. So
there's lichen. I noticed there's lichen growing everywhere. And if anything stands still, I think it grows lichen on it. Here.
pretty much.
And your coriander, which is a nice thing for you to use in your own gin making, which is legal in New Zealand in ways that it is not in Canada.
So and it grows coriander, but it's too hot. It's more of a winter thing.
Yeah.
And my veggie garden as well.
And the veg garden. You got cabbage. So how many daytime hours do you get now? Sort of peak summer.
Sun gets up at about 5:30. I don't know. I'm never awake, and to about 8 at night. So
Okay.
it's probably not as.
It's a little. That's quite similar to where we are because you're quite far south. What's your latitude?
40. Hang on. Oh, I don't know. South Island is 45 south down past Christchurch. So.
In the 40 range. So Alberta has where we're doing most of our gardeners grow. The lower edge of Alberta is the 49th parallel, and then the 60th parallel is the north. Yeah. Look at how happy your basil is.
The basil and the tomatoes are just volunteers, but I'll get them.
Volunteer tomatoes.
Because
oh God, the smell of basil.
And the beans are just about ready. First pick of the season. Green beans. So I like growing beans, but
I just love being able to go into a garden and graze.
So I garden. I do mostly brassicas. This garden grows good brassicas in the winter. I mean I've got a few there, and I tend to avoid them in the summer.
Because they bolt?
No, because just there's too much wildlife. Otherwise, you've got to deal with the cabbage butterflies and the aphids and But if I grow them over winter, the bugs aren't there, so it's just. But I've got a little bit of broccoli left there with their wee sprouts.
And so you just eat the greens. You'll do another. When will you plant again?
Oh, probably in the next. Yeah, maybe in February, into February, March, and stuff.
So that would be for us August, September.
Yeah, just so that they can get away sort of before it gets too cold and damp.
Yeah.
And, there's a bit of kale here as well. But yeah, because I find
a bit of shade. Yeah. So the sun. This is the north. The sun is coming from the north.
North is that way.
North is that way.
So
okay.
Yeah. And we get quite a lot of wind. I think being sheltered by the hills, but the size, and we get the easterly wind, and it picks up speed and slams. So these trees here do keep the garden very sheltered, the house very sheltered.
Which is helpful in terms of protecting it from wind, but they do compete for nutrients and water.
Sure, yeah. So this end of the garden's always quite difficult. So
and your fartichoke stand?
Yeah, I just keep them because I like the flowers. I don't really eat them, and they provide a little bit of
and it's just so obvious that they're part of that Heliopsis family. Yeah, they're just lovely.
They just grow.
They do. I think you got more squash growing over here.
Some more in there. My compost heap.
A nice compost heap.
And my plants and black plants.
So what's the height of the temperature that you might experience here? How hot does it get?
Probably, if we hit 30, we're all complaining.
Yeah, 30's hot.
25's a good day.
Yeah.
Today.
Okay, so that's quite a nice range.
Yeah,
Really
30s.
like 10 to 25, 10 to 30.
Yeah, sort of 20, 25.
We're very envious of that. And also, I'm envious of these Christmas lilies. Yeah, that look, or is it a trumpet or an oriental?
I don't know.
Oh man, they just smell amazing.
Bags on trees,
Bags on trees. This is a pear tree.
which has got, this is a conference pear.
A which pear?
Conference,
A conference pear.
which is one of the nicest. But I have this rather big problem with birds.
Birds.
And possums. I can explain about possums.
Yeah, tell us.
Possums are what are they?
They're not native to New Zealand.
Not native, they're Australian, and they are marsupial.
Yeah.
And they're actually hugely destructive on forests. They're a big, if you're driving New Zealand, you'll see them dead on the side of the road.
Yeah. Because there are no natural predators to a possum.
No, and they've made quite a mess of our forests as well. But anyway, so they're my peers. So it's between the birds and the possums. I have to put bags over anything I want to eat.
Yeah.
I've got plants in my tamarillos.
Tamarillo. Okay.
What's a tamarillo?
Tell us about the tamarillo.
So a tamarillo is I think it's a South American actually originally, but it's a solanum. And sort of grows
other
into
solanums are potato, tomato, pepper,
eggplants.
Yeah.
But it's the other name for it is tree tomato,
Tree tomato.
and they grow a red fruit, so big, sort of oval, and I don't know, I can't explain them. They're a bit sour, and so they're not a tree. They're just kind of a shrubby thing. They're not the most long-living plants, but.
And by not long living, you mean they live?
Oh, they sort of peter out after about 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
So this is a short-term perennial.
Yeah.
And most of the plants you have in your garden are perennials, with the exception probably of your veggie patch.
Sure.
Except for your volunteer tomatoes, which are recurrent annuals.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they given the climate, they'd be. And same again, grapes, which is, I've put bags over.
And these
the
are
bigger
table
bunch.
grapes.
This is a variety called Iona.
And a table grape is different from a wine grape, and it's not a sweet dessert grape.
So this one, it's kind of a pinky grape.
So it'll change color.
It sort of gets a bit clear and sort of pinky. It doesn't turn red, and it's
And when will they be ready? Like you've got them bagged to ripen?
Start on them, because if I leave it too late, then I forget about it, and the birds have got them all.
Birds.
Same.
So lots of prunus trees. So lots of
prunus.
pit
Yeah.
droops.
Same again. This is
Another apple tree. Another Asian pear. Okay.
Which is a bit biennial. It needs a good prune, as you can tell.
Yeah. Oops. Lovely. Oh yes, there's some that are.
Oh,
Those are apples.
That's apples. Yeah.
They're encroaching.
I think there's one up here, one I missed. And the birds also just love.
Oh yeah, there it is.
But last year it had a super heavy crop. So this is.
So yeah, it does need a prune, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Although it's beautiful to sit under. We just want more sun hitting
and
those.
Various apples. This is a very early. This is called early strawberry. They don't grow very big.
So New Zealand has less ozone than what we do at home. So you guys have more ultraviolet spectrum. So is that beneficial to plants? That means quite harmful to our skin. This is why we need to make sure that we're wearing sunscreen all the time.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Yeah, and just various apples. Surprise. Oh, I forget what this one's called.
It has a tag on it.
Oh no, that's a codling moth thing. But
okay.
I get moths, but it's. I thought it was the trap, but it was just the sticky bit, so it's a bit of a waste of time.
I want to, let's swing around. I want to see some of the ornamental trees that you have.
Okay.
You have that one with the purple flowers on it, and I can't remember its name.
Maple, which I'm sure you will all be familiar with.
Yes, we are familiar with the maple, although it's not, I think it's a zone 5 and up. Like a Japanese maple is a zone 5, so in a protected area at home they'll grow.
So it's always pretty in the autumn.
It is. And this one will drop its leaves
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
But because it's not a New Zealand tree, and as we have discussed, the only native New Zealand deciduous tree is the tree form fuchsia.
Right. Everything else is,
Boggles my mind that it's just
prune,
green leaves year round.
prune plum.
Prune plum.
A bit late. So more of these are all volunteers as well. We haven't planted them. Oh, look, he's going to say. So that's,
Oh, look at all the flies on there. Here you are. Oh, look at this.
So that's the little flower bud.
Amazing.
And then
So
that
are
will,
these
if we come back,
edible in any way?
no, I don't think so. If we come back in about half an hour, it will have.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That is
And what's
so cool.
I can't see. Sometimes underneath here you get some slugs like that. No, that's little ones. You get some really big
Slugs.
slugs, which I don't know if you like slugs. This is
I do not like slugs. I am on a constant war against
Oh,
slugs.
they're not like garden slugs. This is a snowball tree.
That's a snowball.
What's its name? Do you know a snowball tree?
Yeah, I have one actually in my yard. It is about 3 feet tall, 2 feet tall, and it has remained that size. Just random cluster of rhododendrons.
You know this one?
Ooh, this is a native.
This is native, and these volunteer. This is called kawa kawa,
Kawa kawa.
and it's actually
Oh, I see.
a medicinal plant for Māori. So you make poultice good for thing, and also for stomach.
For digestive issues.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's got quite a distinctive smell.
Mm. Is that a volunteer Nico palm in there?
No, that's a volunteer. Iris foetida.
I was going to say it looks more like iris.
It is, and we get, this is a weed, as you can see I've sprayed some of those. Iris foetida, which we pulled a whole lot out there, just grows anywhere.
The iris is losing the showmanship race to this magnolia tree. Look at this.
So, I mean, these of course, I don't know, this house has been there since 50s post-war.
So the house is about 70 years?
The sort of early part of the house is about 70 years old. The garden, I'm not quite sure. Probably these here have been since the 70s, I guess.
So 50, at least 50 years old. It's just
We've
beautiful.
been here 20 years and it's been
It's gorgeous.
so some of those big trees became like this liquid amber as well. It's, and there's a big silver birch down the back there.
I'm surprised to see birch growing here too. They grow quite readily in Canada. Silver
Yeah,
birch?
silver birch, yeah. Not, yeah.
I remember the betula. Do you remember the
Betula
Beretta?
something.
Yep. Okay, I want to see this one with the red leaves.
The red leaves are the Tibicina. I'm going to come around the other side. This is a persimmon.
This is
Japanese.
a Japanese persimmon.
Japanese little fruits there. So my
You produce a lot of fruit in this small space.
yeah.
What do you do with it?
Oh wow. Birds get a lot.
Yeah.
I bottle stuff.
Making juice and cider.
A lot of the apples get juiced. The pears get juiced into cider. Maybe this year turn into brandy, which might be quite fun. When you came, the person who bought the house off loved roses.
A rose
So there's
lover.
This is quite a nice one.
This is
Sally Holmes is her name.
Sally Holmes.
It's quite pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a huge rose fan, but it is okay. I can appreciate that one.
Yeah. You've got to put a lot in. So this is Tibicina,
Tibicina.
which is, it's nice tree, but it doesn't like the wind very much. It's been quite windy.
It looks herbaceous.
It is, and
And
beautiful flowers.
here's a
You got one?
yeah. Oh, has kind of fallen off a little bit. I thought I saw one.
Yeah, actually probably yesterday's one.
So are the flowers fugacious?
What do you mean by fugacious?
They only last for one day?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like a daylily,
Yeah, just a day,
hemeracalis.
couple of days.
Yeah.
So there's another one over there which is yeah, I mean it's things that I can make an old in the spring.
What do you love about your garden?
Love hate.
Yeah, love hate. That's always how it is with the garden.
I mean I like that it's established. This part here, while I don't look too much at the undergrowth, is really nice in spring with the camellias and the rhodies. We get a lot of birds coming into the tuis. Yeah, I mean it's pretty easy care.
Easy care. Yes, that's a yes in my books.
There's a bit of chemical weeding going on, just to kind of.
Because everything grows voraciously in New
Yes,
Zealand.
and it's quite a big garden. And
It
as
is.
much as I like, I'm not a flower gardener particularly.
How big is the space? Would you say in hectares? that you're growing?
Probably 7 hectares, so I don't know, half a hectare.
Half a hectare? Sure, it looks like a couple acres. For sure. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And
I've got the fuchsia there.
oh, you have the fuchsia.
A lot of our kids are
Excuse me.
and volunteers.
Sorry, what was this one again?
Pittosporum.
Pittosporum, and this is a
Yeah.
native tree.
Yeah, and this one, and they volunteer quite readily as well. As you can see,
Tickle in my throat.
and this New Zealand means is pseudopanax or 5-finger,
Pseudopanax.
and it's 5 fingers. It's sort of common name. This is a variegated one, usually just green.
I love that variegation.
Crazy this one.
And is this a lancewood?
This is a lancewood.
And Wanda, your sister-in-law, shared with me that when it's quite low, it has
Yeah, it changes.
long lance-like leaves, which are meant to, back in the day, to deter the moa,
Yeah.
the extinct ostrich-like bird, from eating it until it got taller than the moa. And it changes to grow. Yeah, it's
So Indus various natives growing here. But they have little yellow flowers. There's another Pittosporum.
another pittosporum.
Kofi.
What is this one?
Kofi.
Kofi?
So this has the yellow spring flowers, which
So it looks a bit like a caragana.
It's a legume, and it has
Yeah.
very long yellow
Fabiaceae.
flowers. which
Yeah. So this means that it is a nitrogen fixer.
And so this
So
is a,
quite healthy for your soil.
I've got a couple, and this is the fuchsia,
And this is the fuchsia.
which has sort of come to the time of its flowering. So and it has little
So it seems more shrub-like than
yeah.
tree-like, but it's just a small tree, obviously. or is it-
They can grow much bigger.
Okay.
I do kind of keep it down a bit.
Yep.
Just take the top out of it and let it shut out. Just had a few branches broken off as we took a fence out.
Lovely.
And Prosma, which are also fairly.
And so, oh, this is another hydrangea.
Another hydrangea. Yeah, we've had a lot of rain, so the flowers aren't great.
Yeah.
So this is a lace, whatever.
Lace whatever. It's beautiful.
The interesting thing with the hydrangea though is that the actual flower is that bit there. These are just the sepals and things, so that's the flower.
It's a bit like a poinsettia.
Yeah, they don't.
So the actual blossom.
The actual
yes.
it's just in
There we
there,
go, just the inside of it.
and that's just all the sepals and bracts.
I
and
see
things.
hydrangeas grow. They seem to grow wild in the bushes
yeah,
here.
yeah, they Yeah, I mean I've got a few over there as well.
Yeah, with your giant stand of calla lilies, which we have to dig up in the autumn and over winter safely,
Yeah, that
and
was just started off as a little patch, and over the years it's kind of gotten bigger and bigger.
spread itself. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's a beautiful view. So this is looking into the Manawatu
And Ruapehu, you can see there. There's the base of the mountain.
It looks like it just below the cloud cover. Ruapehu. So that is near Tonga. That's in Tongariro National Park, and it's beside Nauruhoi, which was Mount Doom in the Lord of the Rings.
That's right.
Yep. It's beautiful, and Helen, thank you
No, you're welcome.
so much for that tour. It's just so different from how we garden at home. It's brilliant, and I love that you have challenges and successes, and that your garden feeds you.
Sometimes the challenge is things grow too fast.
Sometimes the challenge is things grow too fast. Yes, yeah, it is. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.